Hello again, 102ers. Looking at the schedule before I started scripting this up, I thought this might not be a very difficult week. But you never know. Nah, don't get worried. I think we're in for a pretty straightforward week, but as you should know, college isn't meant to be easy. So don't confuse not a lot to do with nothing to worry about. It just means that the little you do have might require more brain power than a few smaller assignments put together. Does that make sense? So let's try to get through this quickly so it's not another 15-plus minute marathon. There's only 4 quick documents to review, but the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the masterclass schedule, which is right down here on the right-hand side, clicking on this button here. And we're going to be in week 2 now, so we scroll down to week 2, and there we go. Like I said, 4 different documents to read, okay? And then we're going to have another quick trip showing you exactly where the databases are so you know what they are. And finally, only 1 assignment to do, really. That's cool, right? I mean, I think that's cool, but what do I know? I'm only the guy grading them. To start, let's jump into choosing search terms for sources. So here, we are going to see a quick shot of understanding on where to start with search terms. Truthfully, I'm not too keen on this page as some of the information is nowhere near detailed enough and some is antiquated and incorrect. So let me give you some ideas. The research plan here is a solid one with a couple of tweaks. You've already selected the debatable academic topic, and you obviously must read more about the topic. Your research questions must be developed and listed, and then you create some search terms to look for sources. Did you see the problem? In order to read more about your topic, you have to search for sources. So how can you read in the second step when you're still searching in the fourth? Basically, you need to select that topic, generate the research questions, get the search terms, and then find the sources to read. Once you've done that, then you can go back and ask better questions or revise the old ones and do the process all over again. It's more cyclical and less only 4 steps. This next part, well, I kind of disagree with it completely. First, there was a search engine in the days before man went social media, and it was called Ask Jeeves. Okay? Ask Jeeves was a website that literally you asked a question right here and clicked the button, and Jeeves, your butler, went out and got your answer. Okay? He kind of looks like Alfred for Batman, but not really. But you literally asked a question. Just because Jeeves has long since retired, it's now just ask.com, by the way. You can go and really just search a bunch of different stuff, but you don't have to not ask questions. Asking questions is fine. The point that whomever wrote this page is trying to get across to you is that the volume of words you use within the search will affect your return results. The more words you put in, the less results you get back. The less you put in, the more you get back. Why? Well, the search algorithm will search for all of the words mentioned. So if a search is too specific, you're going to be missing some things. If you put in medical practice Gettysburg, you might actually get results telling you that Gettysburg Medical College also practices golf on Thursdays. You might have to add certain words like Civil War in quotes and take out certain things like adding a hyphen for minus and the word golf to eliminate that result. These are called Boolean operators. Boolean, I've heard it both ways. You can use a plus sign or a minus sign or the word and or to manipulate the results accordingly, okay? They mentioned this thing called Credo down here. I personally can't stand it. I find it to be worthless. But if you would like to use it because you're used to it, go for it. I am not against any tool that you want to use that's going to get you good resources. So we have this Credo. You can do it. There's a mind map here that when you click on a link over here, you know, this will be coming in the middle and other words will circle around it. It'll just take you down a rabbit hole without really doing much. It's kind of annoying. Of course, I clicked on the wrong tab, so that other one came up and then it came off. And here we go again. We're going to click on finding sources on the internet. It's pretty basic, but it's necessary to remind you of one of the most important rules looking for anything on the internet. Just because it's on the internet does not mean that it's true. So like I said, this page is to keep that in your head. Just because you can find it with a few clicks doesn't mean it's worthwhile. I would recommend watching this video on Google search tricks because honestly, while all of you Google things, very few of you know the different tips and tricks which make the search really powerful. Under that, there's a list of helpful websites and search terms that you can go through. You can find how to find material in just.government sites, .educational sites, NewYorkTimes.com. That's fine too. It talks about the Boolean operators again, and, or, not, and so forth. But down here are the helpful websites. And you've got Statista, and then down here, the Bureau of Labor Statistics and so forth. All of these are going to be really good places to find solid statistics. Now, the ones here in the middle, that's very helpful. It's really reputable news sites which are as close to the middle as possible. In the time we currently live, everything has a left-leaning or a right-leaning bias. So finding a website which splits the difference, well, it's wonderful. So all of these will work. Now, most of these, if not all of them, except for NPR, I know, are .coms. So don't worry about that one. We'll talk about that in just a second. We get down here to the problematic websites, and I have a problem with the very first one, Wikipedia. Wikipedia is not a problematic website, okay? It is a tool that is misused, but is a good place to get a general understanding of your topic. Do not be afraid to go there because your high school English teachers were lazy. Also, don't ignore all .coms because your teachers said so. This list up here, most of these are .coms. WashingtonPost.com, WallStreetJournal.com, U.S. News and World Report.com, ScientificAmerican.com, PsychologyToday.com, and so forth and so on. What they're worried about is down here, the commercial websites, which aim to sell things, okay? If you have a commercial website, it's obviously going to try and sell you something which is not going to tell you why it's a bad thing to buy. So that's what they're mostly worried about. Going back up here to procon.org, it's a decent site to see the whole picture, but it doesn't lock into one side or the other, so it's not great for an argument. It's basically a both sides website. University Wire is another not bad website, but it's one that is all student writing, so the research and attention to detail may not be the best. Always avoid personal blogs and websites because they're nothing more than the ramblings and opinions of the site authors. There's rarely any facts to be had there. And again, commercial websites. Okay. Next is finding journal articles. It's not too long, I promise. I think it's a long-standing misconception by students and teachers alike that source material has to be incomprehensible and lofty to be any good. Don't get me wrong. There are many, many absolutely brilliant sources out there in the world that are superbly written, impeccably researched, and peer-edited that are amazing complements to anyone's research. But when do you actually need them? Finding journal articles brings us to this page. And right now you are enrolled in what amounts to be a freshman composition course. This is practically the same course you would have at any accredited college anywhere in the country. You are learning how to put this material together, and you are learning how to make your voice heard. What you do not need are the amazingly intricate academic journals that are geared towards those master's level and doctorate level and beyond programs. It would be like asking my kindergartner to read To Kill a Mockingbird. While he might be able to get most of the words, he never grasped the thread between the ideas. It's not because he's not smart, but it's because he doesn't have the necessary experience yet. What I'm trying to say is this. I want you to research your topic academically. I want to see you dip your toe in the waters of databases to find these journals, but don't expect to have immediate comprehension. There are things that you really have to work to understand. So if you say, Mr. Christopher, I have 2 articles here on pulsed field ablation helping arrhythmias from the Journal of the American Medical Association and the New England Journal of Medicine. I'll say fantastic. Can you explain them to me? Because I'm not well versed enough to understand the top 2 medical journals in the world. Can you help me? Then, after your jaw gets picked up off the floor, we can try to find more accessible source material to use. So where are these databases again, like EBSCOhost and so forth? Well, if we go back to the original page, you can go to Student Resources, because that's where you are. Click on the Student Success Toolbox over here and the library. And then all of these databases right here are accessible to you as a Delaware Tech student for the cost of your tuition. If you try to access them outside of the Delaware Tech website, they'll probably charge you, but if you do it through here, everything works well. Going back, we can now click on the last one, which is Evaluating Sources. And you're going to see something called the CRAAP test, which you should remember from English 101. The scholarly sources that are listed are sources that are written for a high-level audience, edited by experts in the field, and published in recognizable sources. They're the very best of the best, but they aren't always the best for you. Remember my example previously about my kindergartner reading To Kill a Mockingbird? Try this one. If you find an article that is brilliant, but it's written in Swahili, and you don't speak Swahili, what good is it? Use sources you can understand and sources that fit within your audience's awareness. Now, I want to spend the rest of this page talking about CRAAP again. No, silly, not poop, crap. No, not simple crap. I'm talking about CRAAP. What good is a semester without a good poop joke, right? I mean, am I even teaching if I don't go that way? Anyway, CRAAP is an acronym that helps us determine if a source is worth our time or not. In short, is this source crap or not? You can click on the different videos on this page. There's 1, and then down here are 2, 3, 4, and 5. But here is the poster that they put up, okay? There are 5 elements to CRAAP. Once again, you heard about this in English 101, so let me just review it very quickly. The first one, C for currency. It does not refer to money. It refers to the timeliness of the information. Feel free to ask any of these 4 questions to get your material clearly understood. Relevance. Does it match up? This semester I have a student who wants to write about exotic animal ownership. That's fantastic. But if she gives me an article written on exotic car ownership, that is irrelevant to her topic. So therefore, she doesn't need those. 4 more questions here. Authority. The source of the information. Who wrote it? Where is it published? You can go through and do a quick Google search on the author. Find out if there's any charges of plagiarism or academic dishonesty. Find out how long they've worked somewhere, what their degrees are in, and so forth. The URLs. Does it reveal anything about the source? Accuracy. Is it true or not? That's very quick and easy. There's 5 questions here, 5 questions for authority, and 4 questions for purpose. Purpose, if you remember, can be one of 3 general purposes. And if you just remember the word PIE, you're in good shape. P-I-E. Persuade, inform, or entertain. You want to find a source that's going to persuade you to believe one thing or another. It's going to inform you of all the details of that. But if it just sits there and makes you laugh or cry or pisses you off, that's entertainment, and it's not always the most academic of sources. But that's the gist. Again, it's something you heard in English 101, and it's something you'll continue to use here. It's worthwhile, but you won't have to do it much at this level, because honestly, as you get better at it, you'll do it without even thinking, okay? So, going back over here, let's talk about the final thing, which is the assignment, the literature review planner. Clicking on that brings us to this material here. You are going to find 2 articles on your source, on your topic, excuse me. You're going to find 2 articles on your topic, and you are going to use the literature review planner, which if you click here, you will see it pop up like this. Yes, it's 5 pages, but it's 5 blank pages that you're just going to fill out, okay? It's no problem. And the more you fill this out, the better you'll do on your paper coming up, okay? So, going back, you're going to go in here, and you're going to list your topic and search terms, your background, your context. But you know what? I can show you all this. Why don't we just go back to this page? Give me your general topic again. What are you choosing, okay? What are the search terms that you have selected to search for your material? Then your introduction. Answer the questions that I've asked. What is the general history surrounding your topic? What is the overall debate concerning your topic? What is the one side of the debate surrounding your topic? What is another side? I would always start with your side first. And then, what is the purpose of researching this topic? Why do you believe it's important to research this topic? Answering these questions just simply in 1 or 2 sentences will give you an understanding that when you put them all together, you will have a really nice introduction for your paper. Then we have our research questions. Give me 3 questions that guide your research. So put the question over here in boxes 1, 2, and 3, and then answer. What's the purpose of your question? Are you trying to persuade? Are you trying to inform? What is the strength of this question and weakness of this question? You'll do this 3 times. Down here, you will list off the rhetorical information of your sources. Who are the authors? Who wrote it? When was it written or updated? What is the title of the article? Where did you get it from? And what is the URL? Okay, the URL is a fancy way of saying web address. It's called a Uniform Resource Locator. Then you're going to give me the summary elements. Give me a major detail and cite it. Give me a major detail and cite it. Okay? And then you have a couple of analysis questions. Just answer these in detail and you'll be in really good shape. Go back to the page that I was just on in the evaluating source terms, and you can see what all the questions are that you can ask for the CRAAP sections. So once you go through that, you'll do this again for source 2, and then you'll answer some reflection questions at the bottom here before finally concluding. You're filling this out. If you get this correct and you go through and you give a lot of detail, your first draft of the literature review due next week will be so very easy, okay? If you have any questions or concerns, please email me early. I hope you are watching this video early in the week rather than Sunday night because, well, I'm probably not answering emails until Monday morning. Add that in the fact that this particular Monday is a holiday and hello Tuesday. There's a lot of material masquerading as not a lot. Told you. Anyway, have a great week. Reach out if you need me, and I'll be looking forward to seeing where your ideas are with the literature review. See ya.